Wherever you are in this amazing world. Welcome to the World Percussion Group VTOR 2021 session 5. And we are very, very, very excited to have percussionist extraordinaire Johan Bridger. Johan, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, I'm very happy to be here. It's an honor to me. It's great. And thanks for all the good work you're doing.
You're
very
welcome.
Nice. Yeah,
thank you.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. So Johan is an amazing percussionist based in Sweden, has multiple teaching positions in Denmark and in Sweden, and has traveled extensively around the world performing both marimba and percussion. He's worked a lot with composer Tobias Brostrom. I think we're going to see a little bit of Tobias's work in a minute. And today he's going to be working with two of our artists, well, three actually. We've got the Balagan Duo from Israel, comprising of Yuval Yakir and Shalev Koloditsky. And we've got Tingnie, who's zooming in all the way from Taiwan. So we're going to start with her in a little bit so she can head off to bed. So thank you very much for that. So without further ado, before we get proceedings underway, I thought it would be appropriate just to show you a little bit of what Johan's been up to with this very short documentary on a concerto which he's recently been involved in. So fingers crossed this will work fine.
Theatron is a concerto for two percussionists and an orchestra written for my good old friends Johan Bridger and Patrick Rav, whom I've been working with for many, many years. Theatron, an ancient Greek word literally meaning watching place, is an independent sequel to my first percussion concerto, Arena. The solo parts has a focus on pitched percussion only. It's mainly scored for marimba and vibraphone, but other instruments such as dubachi, crotales, gongs and a waterphone is also a part of the setup.
Wow, amazing, amazing performance there. Some really nice music. I like actually the trailer at the end. Very nice. Yeah,
Thanks.
very good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Great. So I guess first question for you, Johan. How's things been, and what have you been up to?
Well, things are good. I'm very happy things are opening up again, so we can play some music. Yeah, I mean, for everybody, I guess the last 1.5 years has been crazy, but also good things happens, and I formed 2 new duos, and and working with the good stuff. And yeah, you can see behind me, I recently moved to a big house. I have a little concert hall here where I spend most of my time. So we opened up, and we have had a couple of concerts here. And Patrick and I, who you saw in the video, we will have our 25th anniversary.
Wow.
In December here, so we will have a big concert here.
Yeah, amazing. So you must be one of the longest standing duos of all time in the percussion field, I would think.
Quite long, at least.
Yeah. Congratulations, amazing. Okay, so we're going to move on to coaching our first artist, which is Tingnie from Taiwan. Johan, how do you want to do this? We've got 3 short clips. Would you like me to play each one and then you comment, or do you want me to play all 3 first?
Let's do one at a time, and we can.
One at a time. I'm glad you said that, because that's easier for me.
Okay, good.
All right, great. So here we are. This is Tingnie playing Arena, which I know is very familiar with. So the perfect coach for this setting. All right.
Yeah, very nice. Good job. Yeah, cool. You know what? What's funny? I didn't hear this. I never heard this with piano. It's cool. Very nice. Very nice. You know, the orchestra version came out, and then the solo version came out with just the percussion part. But this is cool. Very nice. Very nice. It is great to prepare when you're setting up for orchestra. Do you have a very nice plan? Your face is nice. Tingnie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good job. Hi. Do you have an orchestral performance coming up, or you played it with piano first, or
only with piano?
Okay, only with piano. But then you're all set for orchestra at some point. It's great to do it with piano. Yeah, good job. You know, let's dive straight into it. Tempo marking 96. I think it's a bit fast.
Yeah,
it's a bit fast. I mean, I know the piece, and I can follow you, but I think it's kind of difficult to follow in that tempo. It's over 110 or something. I don't know exactly how quick this was, but it's quite quick. So my first advice would be to take it down so it's clear and easy to hear. All this fast stuff, the 6 tappets. I mean, just that opening. I think it will really be easier for you to articulate more, and also to sing it and kind of make a legato into the first, that first phrase, and then keep doing that. So a suggestion, now the dynamic is very nicely written here from piano up to fortissimo, for those of you who don't have the score. But if you like treat every single note there like it was a melody instrument more. Can you hear me? You understand? Oh, how is the connection here?
That's okay. I think she's just dropped out, but you can carry on because she'll be able to catch this up later.
Yeah. So that's one thing with a melody there, with the 6 tuplets going on all the time here, and then these 30-second notes in bar 4 that goes on. That can be a different style, kind of just easygoing and. Keep going up on those octobands and aiming for the metal pipes. And so I hope she can hear me, but she'll get back to it anyway later, you say. So
sure.
So just make sure you're together with a big band in the piano part here in bar 5, etc. And then bar 6, for example, doom doom doom, that low tom you have. It's nice to with the tempo. It's going to be super rich, I think. Oh, you're back, Tingnie. Nice. Or maybe you. Yeah. Okay. So I'm up to bar 6 now. We talked about the tempo and the phrasing of the 6 tuplets. Did you hear that? Yeah.
Tempo
okay, nice. And when you come to bar 6, for example, that low tom, make it fat and rich. So the piano will catch you, the orchestra will catch you. Boom. Because when you rush over the rhythms, it's difficult to hear it. Yeah. But that, just go for that. No, there is no, when we play this chamber music or solo with orchestra stuff, and we have the chance to play, no one is going to tell you to play softer or anything. So just go for that. Yeah. And the same thing with the next bar, like bar 7. Treat it like a melody. Like every note is deep into the drums and just a little bit louder. Every note gets just a little bit louder until you reach the end of those phrases. You understand that? Yeah? So like instead of like a little stretch, a little tenuto of maybe the first note in each group of 6. Like a tiny bit. Yeah? That will be very effective. Cool. And then it's all good. The sounds are all good, I think. Very nice, balanced. I mean, it's difficult to have I don't know how many instruments is it, like 25 or something like that, and to blend all the sounds, which I think you do a great job with. It's very, very good. Do you have questions of this, the opening?
Yeah, because this was the last piece I played during the concert, so somehow I rushed from the beginning.
Yeah.
And because this piece is around 22 minutes, so it's a bit difficult for me to stay focused until the end, because the energy, trying to stay the same energy level is from the beginning to the end. Yes.
Yeah, your energy is fine. There is no problem with your energy. It's great. It's very good. I really like it. I mean, yeah, rather more energy than less energy, of course, but just tempo wise, to bring it down. And when you practice, just practice practice slower, so and that you believe in what you do when you play slow, so that you feel, oh, this is good, this is groovy, this is nice, I'm happy with this is virtuosic enough for me, or you know what I mean. If you do that quite a bit under tempo, then when you get to the concert, you might play the right tempo and you will have the same feel, because the adrenaline is pumping and the heart is beating faster, so we feel time differently when we are on the concert, you know what I mean. We feel, did you ever feel like it's slow motion sometimes? You feel the concert in slow motion and everything is very slow. Do you understand? Did you feel that ever?
And I just feel nervous.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, it's maybe other words for the same thing. When you're nervous, your heart is beating and you feel you play on the edge like you usually do, but then you play maybe a bit faster. So practice even below tempo, and if you're feeling good there, then when you are at the concert and maybe you hit the right tempo, you will feel the same feel as you had in the practice room in the slow tempo. And you will feel okay about that. You don't have to feel that, you know, on the limit, which is above what we can appreciate and hear in the music. Does that make sense to you? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Do you want next clip?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right.
And where is this from? Yeah, well, I'll catch it. Okay.
You okay? Do you
I
need
got
to
it.
move?
I got it. Yep, I got it.
All right.
Yeah, very nice. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, great job. This is this part is very special with a hi-hat going on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good job. Sorry?
Yeah. This part, the tempo change is.
Yeah, with the hands, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is difficult. Yeah, I know. This is, you know, when I first learned this, I had 3 weeks to learn this concerto before the premiere. So when I did this part, I was kind of crying. I practiced all night long, and I was like, yeah, this was the hardest part for me. So this is very emotional to see this. But yeah, it's a very good job with the hi-hat and to keep that tempo. Recently, I discovered it's very nice, you know, with the hi-hat. What helps me in the beginning of this part, what helps is to jump, you know, you play the left foot on the hi-hat. I guess you have the left foot on the hi-hat. And then the right foot, I just step with. So I'm when I'm playing these first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars, I'm kind of walking while I play at the setup. Because when you walk and you practice polyrhythms, you don't mess up your walking pace. You know what I mean? If you sit down and you clap and you try to sing something, then you might clap not evenly, right? But when you walk, usually that's very good for polyrhythms. So for me, that's just very helpful in this part. You play excellent, you don't need it. But, you know, if you get problems with this kind of things, you can do that. Yeah, very good job. And good, you have the contact with the pianist, you know, when she gets in at whatever it is, 90 something, 98. Yeah, it's very good. I mean, chamber music, just look up and yeah, very good job. And I think that first accelerando you do is very smooth, and there's not much to help you with there. Then, you know, these two bars where the hi-hat goes from half notes to quarter notes, 100 and 101. You know, that little melody in the tom-tom, that would be nice to bring out, like a very legato. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? The low tom-tom part there. That's very nice to phrase and make a little bit of a legato there. So there's a different layer going on at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, that's all very good. And then, you know, when you go from triplets to 16th notes, very good. Sounds good. Sounds very good. Just be careful at the end, the last 4 bars, especially the last 2 bars, that you don't rush too much, you know? Just keep, I mean, it's more effective to hold the tempo than to run forward, I would say. Yeah? And the rest there is all nice. Very good job. Nice sounds in the tom-toms, and you know, you have a rich sound in your fundamental sound. I mean the way you play, it's great. 120, 21, the 120, 1920. You have the score there, right? Or 119, 20. When it gets a bit with the tom-toms, it sounds really rich and very big. Yeah. Then I have a couple of suggestions for the last section there. You know, from the 6/4 bar, where you have the with a cowbell, wood block, and bongos, right? That's the instruments, right? Yeah. I would tune up the bongos a little bit, and on the blocks and the cowbell, it sounds like you're playing. If here's the block, it sounds like you're playing like with tip on the instrument. If you take a little bit thicker part of the stick, I mean, you elaborate with this sound-wise. So if you come in a little bit, it's a bit more difficult to play because it doesn't bounces that well. But the cowbell and especially the block, I would say, would sound a bit more rich, and so maybe more clear also. All these. Do you understand? You can elaborate. Sorry?
The resonance.
Yeah. Yeah, more resonant, little bit deeper sound, heavier sound. I mean, or yeah, deeper, more fundamental of that instrument. I like where you have I like where you place the cowbell. I mean, it's a bit showy up there. You know, it's very nice. I mean, so you have a little bit more movements, and it looks cool. It's all about the look. No, it's kidding, but it's good stuff. Yeah, and stay stable there. It's quick enough. I mean, it's definitely fast enough for the ears to hear what's going on. So don't play too fast. And then after K, just the bar we quit, I could hear that you jumped up in tempo very high. Don't do that. I mean, keep it going, and then you have the third, you know, kind of. You have the first modulation in 93, then you go to 104. You speed up from what is it, from big triplets, quarter note triplets to 8-note triplets, and then next time up to 16ths, and then last time from 16ths to 6-tuplets here, right? In 132 or something. So if it's all related in tempo, it makes more sense. Yeah? Sounds good? Questions?
Questions. The second movement of the marimba part.
Yeah.
When I wonder how you prepare this part, because it's a bit hard to digest for me.
Yeah.
To understand the melody. Sorry, I didn't show the part, but
yeah. Well, let's see. You know, this is long. This is a couple of years. It's, I think, many years ago I played, so I just need to glance through the. Well, how to prepare this? Well, as I said, I only had 20 days, 21 days or something, so there was not really time to think. I just work. I just remember working hard with it. But what I do in general with this kind of thing, I would look into the 12/8 first, because that's more difficult, right? The 12/8 when it's moving all the time, or maybe it's not more difficult, but I would go for that where it continues going from the 12/8. I would, what's it called? AA. No, before that. Z. That's where the tempo goes. Down, bam, bam, down. Bar 303. I would do that, you know, just do it slow with the metronome and keep going. Keep it slow and steady and with very little metronome, but metronome. So maybe a beat on the metronome every quarter note, then maybe once a bar, every other bar, you know, on beat 1 or something. Just because if you play this with orchestra one day, then it's good to know that you're really stable. And the kind of timing is for me a little bit of a, what's the word, when it's fresh. I mean, one day I can have a good timing, and if I don't practice that style, my timing gets a bit shaky over time. You know what I mean? If you don't do a specific thing for a long time, then, well, the fundamental timing is what it is, I think, but we can always work a little bit on it, and this is one way to work on that, for example. And yeah, what can I say about this? What's your main issues with the marimba stuff?
Because this part is a tonal, not tonal. Not easy to remember this melody.
Yeah.
I try to understand what is the meaning behind this, to build a story about this part.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's a good way. That's a very good way to memorize. You know, in a second I will talk a bit about memorizing and stuff. But let's I can give you some hands-on tips right now, and this goes especially for, you know, difficult stuff that goes for a long time, continuous going notes, and I would start from the end of each phrase. I would memorize the last 6 notes, for example, in the 6 tuplets. Start from the end and a little bit in the new section, whatever it's coming, so you don't have mental breakdowns and forget what you're gonna play. But start from the end, and then you play that a couple of times until you're happy with the phrasing, until, you know what I mean? And then you go back one more bar, and so at least you can continue going to the end of every phrase from wherever you start. Does that make sense?
Yeah, start with the most difficult part.
And you don't have to memorize everything if you don't want to. I mean, some parts with tremolo and other stuff, depends on how good reader you are when you play. But one thing at a time, and then start with the difficult stuff, just because if you have less time, I mean, days, every time you sleep on something, every time you fall asleep and wake up the next day, then you kind of upgraded whatever you did the other day. That's the way I feel about these kind of things. So go with the hardest stuff, work a little bit here and there on these things, and then put phrases together. I didn't see any. Yeah.
Sorry, we've got one more video clip and a few minutes left, just to warn you. So
okay, sure.
Do you want me to play this one now?
Did I answer your question? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll talk about memorizing later.
All right.
Yeah, good job. Sounds great. Cool. Yeah. Just there is one thing you do in the beginning of this section, and it is in the middle of the bar, the 4/16 notes. They are rushing a little bit, so that so the first tom you play with the right hand is a bit too early. So the rhythm gets a bit funky there. Just take it easy with those ghost notes. Yeah, and think about them as ghost notes. Don't. It's written in many things clear, but the way I think of this is just the dat doom boom 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 bap bap boom 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 bap boom 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 bap, and then whatever comes in between doesn't have to be 16th notes. I don't know if Tobias, the composer, is listening now, but I don't care too much about that it's 16th notes. Maybe I play 16th sometimes, maybe I play triplets, and the faster it gets, so it's a little bit floating what kind of rhythms is going on in between. Yeah? So I like more of a rolling sound instead of more of a legato sound with the toms doing boom, 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 boom. So more of a melodic approach than a rhythmic. But that in the middle of the bar, you need to slow down a little bit just so that, or keep the tempo, I mean. Yeah. And then when the cowbell comes in again, I think it's written wood block, but I usually always play cowbell. I think I mislearned from the beginning, and then I just kept it with the cowbell. I like that sound more. Three different metal sounds. So play on a little thicker on the cowbell again. Not with the tip, but more. Yeah. Cool. And then the excellent bass drum. The bass drum should help you to feel that rhythm in different ways. Yeah. uh, which is cool. And then for the very end, it's very good. Yeah, excellent. I just have a feeling that, in 463, the last 4 bars, the second note, bam, so one and in the bar. Start slow, soft, start soft so you have something to grow from. So that, from that first accent, the drums comes, like if you play the marimba, you play a bass note, boom, boom, and arpeggio where you listen to the bass, boom, boom. So same thing here, bam, so it comes from underneath. Yeah, and just the last 2 quarter notes before the end, keep controlled, even if it's really fast and you're excited after, what did you say, 22 minutes or something. Just hold it, and don't let your hands run away from you. Yeah, excellent job, very good playing. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah.
Everyone else is clapping backstage.
Nice.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tingnie. I know it's late for
Yeah.
you, so if you want to head off, you can do, or if you want to stick around, you're welcome. It's up to you. All right. So well done.
Yeah, very good.
Okay. So let's bring on the Balagan Duo. Hey guys.
Hi guys.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Yeah,
Good.
Thank you. So, do you want to tell Johan what you're going to be playing?
Yeah. We're going to play the Alborada del Grazioso.
Nice.
It's a piece of Ravel, by Ravel. It's an arrangement to 2 marimbas. You want to add something?
Maybe we'll add something after Tim will load our video app.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sounds
right.
good.
So
Yeah.
I feel like every marimbist know this piece, so let's just do it.
Let's
All
see.
right. Let's do it. So here is the Israeli Balagan Duo playing Alborada del Grazioso. And I think this is a cheeky duo arrangement, if I'm not mistaken.
It's Safri Duo's arrangement.
Oh, this is Safri. This is the other guys then. It's Philip that's doing the other one. Okay, thank you. Wow. Sorry, Safri Duo. All right, here we go.
Very good, guys. Sounds great. Yeah, very good, very good.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And I know the guys have actually set up, and the sound's not bad. So if you want to work on a couple of things live, Johan, you're welcome to, or
Yeah,
just comment. It's
yeah.
up to you. I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, great job. Sounds great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you play together a lot. Sounds great. Sounds, yeah,
Much appreciated.
nice.
Thank
Yeah, cool. Yeah, all marimbas should know this. I didn't play this, but it's it might be on the list. It might be on the list. It's good stuff. I remember I heard a concert with Safi Duo with this long time ago, like 25 years ago maybe, just around when we formed our duo. And isn't there? I thought they played the middle part with like 5 mallets. You know, it's not in this arrangement, but there is. I think there is. I don't know if they made an arrangement with 5 mallets in the middle section or something. Do you know this?
I know that they made a big cut in the middle
Yeah.
of the arrangement,
Yeah.
and maybe in they did it in the early stage of the arrangement, but in this
Maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
in
they
this
did. Sorry, I think they did 2 different versions. That was the cut version, but they did do. You mean the bit with the? I think it's bassoon solo.
Yeah, in the middle
The
section.
bassoon.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think there is a version with that too.
Yeah, cool. I mean, you might just as well check it out if you want. Anyway, good stuff. I like the opening and very sensitive there, togetherness. And I mean, in the beginning, C bar like 6 or something. It's very small here. Yeah, very nice, very nicely played together and balanced, both rhythmically and sound-wise. I like that. Very good. And it's cool with in bar 10 when you take the broad tempo. It's fine. Good stuff. Very good. And then I was a bit. First question I have is like, what does it say? 22, bar 22, when the new section starts. You kind of set a new tempo there, a fresh tempo there, right?
Letter B, yeah.
Yeah, that might, if you know where I'm, bar 22,
well,
right? Yeah. Yeah, that's just the question if you like that, or I mean, or if you want to stay connected to what you just did a little bit more. I don't know, but it's fine if you do that. It's fine, but it could be connected more.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you.
Totally.
Then we come to C, you know. Is that the correct notes? I don't,
No.
since I didn't. It's a bit
That's
on
okay.
the chorus. Okay, I got it. So, because, so that's one thing. Just check that chord, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
And you know, when you have single lines with the rhythm is so crisp and delicate and really, really good. When you then later in the piece have, for example, here at C, with a double, you know, a large interval here in the right hand and just a single note in the left hand, it's more difficult to get that crisp, right?
Yeah, right.
To get the balance in between the hands. So I would work on that a little bit, bring up the left hand, because it's the lowest note and the others are big interval and it's also higher. So technically, bring up the left hand and keep that crisp and play it until you feel you're happy with, you know what I mean? With that crisp,
definitely.
yeah? So that's something you can think about throughout the rest of the piece from here on, I would say.
Yeah, it's something that I'm. The part that you are talking on is in my part. I'm playing that.
Yes.
And it's something that I battled with a lot.
Yeah.
Because the chords, not by any means to give an excuse, but every time I practice this piece, I'm really trying to create a full sound, and it's really difficult chord-wise. There are a lot of strange positions, and every time it's a battle. To bring it out the sound that the full sound that we are both looking on.
Yeah. Well, did you hear the arena lesson we just had a little bit of that?
Of course.
Yeah. we talked about there was a place. That was a dynamic going up. Here is a dynamic going down. But the same thing applies, I would say. The downbeat of C, you can play. There is no problem to play that loud and nice, right?
Yeah.
But the next triplets to make you hit the note, bam, and listen to what you get. Bam, bam, bam. So you bam, dum, 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 dum. So that's what we want to hear. Bam, bam. So the triplet is like an echo of what you just did. Bam, da, 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 da. Technically. And if you really play soft on the last note, then you can give more energy to the chord, right?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
I understand. I definitely understand what do you mean, but phrasing wise, is that the correct thing to do? Because every time, not every time, but lots of time when the triplets, like the triplets motive is played on this piece, it's some sort of an deliberate to accent the note after. It's a lot of Spanish music influences here. So every time like we have triplets, we are
thinking about the sound notes.
Aiming to the last notes.
Yeah, but that's cool. But here, bam da da bam da da, you want the chord to speak. So just hit, if you hit the first note, and the rest, the first note sounds like this, bam, bam. Just if you hit that curve, bam, if you come below the curve, then we cannot hear the articulation. But as long as you and with the mallets you guys have, articulation is not a problem.
Yeah.
It's very clear, very, very, very clear, everything. Yeah. So bam, just hit that first note, and also you might, if this is a duo, sometimes when you hit a chord, bam, bam, and then you pick up the tremolo from there. If the duo partner hits one of those notes, bam, and you pick up the tremolo after, that's a solution to if it's a duo, then that's a good solution also. You understand what I'm saying?
Not so much, please.
No. So if you play bam da da bam, just hitting 3 notes.
Yeah.
Dam da da ba, and then you tremolo on 4 notes when your left hand recovered.
So like dam da da dam da da
yeah.
like this.
Dam da da 3 notes, tremolo on 4,
yeah.
and Juval, right?
Juval.
Then you hit 1 note on that chord, and then you pick up the tremolo from that. It might not work for this occasion, but that's a future help.
It might be interesting. We really will need to switch parts. I really will need to learn Yuval's part as well. But
but just
might be interesting to try.
Yeah, like on the third 8th note.
Yeah.
You could Yuval, you could hit that F sharp, and then you take the tremolo from there, if you really want it to be more clear.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
These kind of things you do in a duo, I think. That can, because it's all about how it comes out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And if you hit that note, especially, and then you just pick up a tremolo from 3 notes to 4 notes. You pick up that F sharp as well, if you really want to make that, articulation, right?
Yeah, it's an interesting suggestion.
Yeah, you can think about that. That's
Yeah, thank you.
Sometimes the composers can have some help with these kind of solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be hard to reach either Max Leith or Ade Ravel, but
Hello.
Yeah.
we can try.
You don't know Ravel? Nice. Okay, so very, very, very cool. And what else did I think of here? Yeah, same thing. In bar 39, 40, 41, 42. you know, that triplet I talked about, how to treat it. It's so crisp when you guys play it all the time. But sometimes when you have two notes in one hand and the one in the other, I think you can elaborate a little bit more with the lonely notes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just a tiny bit
Yeah.
up in volume.
Actually, this recording is almost 4 months old, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
It was recorded on June this year, early June.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And we know this piece for quite a long time. We first encountered it during high school, and we're now
Wow.
4 or 5.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks. We're now 4 years after we first played it. So each
Yeah,
time
yeah.
we play it, we came back to it 3 times.
Yeah, okay.
Including the first one we played it. And
Yeah,
each
yeah.
time we are coming back to this piece, we are discovering something else. So something
Fantastic.
that we discovered after the recording, which is quite a shame that we didn't got it in time. That
To open the triplets.
We definitely need to play those triplets.
And not tam.
Yeah, a bit
Yeah,
more
yeah,
open
yeah. Mm-hmm.
for the triplet to actually last an 8th note duration.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
Sometimes
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Too short.
Also, yeah, the short is, you know, this Spanish castanet style.
Definitely.
It's also, so it's a balance between the crisp, which I like many times when you play, and what you're saying to be actually in time to play together with the other person. But, you know, Ravel here, and it's a kind of floating music, maybe not this piece so much, but it's kind of floating. It doesn't have to be completely put together all the time.
Yeah, that's the beauty of, like, it's a Spanish music arrangement in some sort of way, like a Spanish music with the impressionism touch of Ravel. So maybe it will be smart to not make it totally Spanish and like folk music Spanish, a bit more classical and southern.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Well, just you know, these runs bar 44, 44, and 46. Maybe a little bit more dynamic. It could be fine. Could be nice. Just a little bit more. It's difficult to say on the recording, but I think that's it. And then one thing that comes a couple of times, bar 49, 50. You know, to have a long direction together. So where are we going? Where do you want to go? And when you work in a duo, one guy can play for the other guy, and then the other guy plays for the other, and just to reduce talking between each other. Just one guy play. This is how I feel. This is how. Where do we want to go from to? Where do we want to go to?
Yeah.
And then I think it's easier. You don't really think about how to be together. Just
actually, we're doing this a lot. We're talking about
nice.
Talking about some sort of interpretation to a phrase. And then Yuval tried to convince me, or it can be the opposite way. It's not. It's really depends on the situation. Like some of us tries to convince the other by talking, and then we just go shut up and play, and let's see if it's convincing. And
if you guys want to play duo for a long time, that's a good way. That's a good start. Don't talk too much.
I need to work on that.
Yeah. Well, no. well. Now you got to be able to talk also. I'm just kidding. And the next section I would see, you know, where the flutes. I think it's the flutes. So it's kind of linear from 52, where E is the letter E. Doesn't have to be so clear rhythmically. Just maybe I would play with a little bit less attack on the mallets, but that's just personal. And then that would happen automatically. But don't try to articulate, you know, the difference between triplets and 16th notes here. Don't try to hide it more.
Yeah.
Try to hide the rhythm more than play the rhythm.
So you want to hear our interpretation on specifically E? Why we did what we did? Because there's a reason.
Okay, tell me.
So the motive of E is repeating 2 times, and 1 time Yuval plays it
Letter E.
in letter E, and then one time I plays it in I
Letter
think
I.
Yeah.
Letter
Yep.
So the first time it appears in letter E, we are intentionally trying to play it more vague and less harsh. And when I play it, we are trying to achieve like an development of this motive, and I'm definitely playing harder and lot stiff and rhythmically accurate.
You mean second time?
Yeah, second time
Yeah, yeah.
it's story-wise, we believe that it's much smarter to do it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to hear what do you think about it, or if you notice it in our playing.
Well,
that's just okay.
Well, just the E. I would like to hear it more, even more flowy. Yeah.
Right.
But you know,
Yeah.
we play music different ways, and that's fine. That's completely fine.
Yeah.
Just when you before with F, when you come to F, I thought there was a little bit of a balance. You could take out the melody a little bit more, and the balance. Just, I mean, both of you have such a good balanced sound together. So that's why I noticed when it's just slightly off balance in my ears, then maybe just that bar before F, I would go down a little bit with the melody. Okay. Compared to the chord, you can listen. But I mean, you guys, this was 4 months ago. Maybe you played it 100 times since. So, yeah.
Something around that, I would believe.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I can.
A rehearsal
one.
Yeah, a rehearsal each day after like since July almost.
Okay.
Great.
Good job. Yeah, I'm happy for you guys. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Well,
we kind of got tired of each other a few weeks ago, but
yeah, but don't talk. Don't talk. I was kidding. F, I think I really like what you do with the crisp. That's so very crisp when you do the. It sounds great. Yeah, just.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep going, and very nice. F.
Yeah.
The high red, very good, and the bar before G, the 2 bars before G, very good together. The blend, I really like that. Very good.
Thank you.
And the crisp that you have in F, please bring it down to bar 70. You know, 70, 71, and all the way to H. You know what we talked about, the crisp.
Yeah. Okay.
The castagnettes there. And impressive, the glissando. Very impressive. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, just before I, the 2 bars before I, the same as we had the parallel plays. Aim for the big slowing down. I mean the ritenuto. I mean aim for the thing together and play for each other, and yeah. It's very tight, but then suddenly it's a little bit off, and then with these kind of mallets, then it sounds very instead of
That's actually after we finished recording and started working again, we listened carefully to the recording and ask ourselves what we need to work on and what we liked and what we would like to keep in our playing, and what we would like to improve. So the unisons, all the unisons part, including the cadence in the middle, after the glisses. So the unison in D, in letter D, and the short unison we have
in 86.
Yeah, where we are right now. Yes.
And the cadenza, of course, we really trying to improve it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you do. Yeah. Just keep doing it. Yeah. And I have to say, I noticed you guys stand like this with the marimbas, which we also do in our duo. We don't stand together, keyboard to keyboard like this. We always stand out to the audience. And this makes a difference in timing. You noticed, right?
Yeah.
You noticed, right? So when you hear the other person, if you play Nagoya marimbas, just if you spread out like 3 meters, you should do this as a experiment. Maybe you already did, but one guy is keeping the pulse, the other guy is playing and having a very good time, timing wise. So it will be very painful for the guy who tries to keep the tempo who started. And then you do the opposite. And then by doing this, you realize how late you sound to the other person. Now we are talking about 3-4 meters between you guys with the marimbas like this, but still there is a tiny, tiny little bit of glitch when you play really fast stuff. So that's why sometimes recordings, it's not, you don't think that when you stand there. So you should hear the other person, both should hear the other person a little bit late. I mean, micro.
Yeah. So you might suggesting to turn, like change locations, maybe stand in front of each other and not like in an arrow shape.
Yeah, no, I like to stand in the arrow shape because it's more outgoing to the audience. And also the balance is good. The bass treble comes out nicely. When you have them in front, you hear more of the bass to the audience and more of the treble for the other person. So I don't do that. But for practice reasons, you could do that just to see this is how easy it is, and then spread apart quite a bit to see how difficult it is. But if you can keep the pulse going and record it and it sounds good, then you know you're on the right timing together. Yeah? Yeah. We are talking about small things, but this is what makes the difference. Yeah.
Everything
Okay.
is so small.
Yeah. Jay, very nice. I like the timing together there, the breathing and everything. And then what we talked about to help each other to make the best thing. That's arpeggio in 104. That could be shared also if you want.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can make it. I don't know if you look in the orchestral score, maybe it's even longer. I don't remember what instrument, if it's the harp or whatever it is, but you can do together. One person takes over. Yeah, these kind of things. Very nice. Well, let's see. And just one suggestion, one more suggestion. It's from L, just the very ending. It's second bar of L, second part of it. When it comes daga 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 daga. Play the left hand less so it sounds more horizontal.
Yuval.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Just that will sound more like how the harmony comes out, the melody comes out, and not the percussive, the rhythm. The rhythm we don't really need. I mean, we just shadow. I would do a little bit of shadow, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But maybe you guys want to play. Maybe you want to play and show some. I don't know. How is time? How is time?
It's 7:10, so you got 15 more minutes for the class, but we have got Marimba Spiritual as well. So up to you. Up to you.
Yeah, well, up to you guys because I'm here for you guys. So
I think we mainly want another opinion in team. Probably know what I'm talking about. Another opinion about our cadence on Marimba Spiritual. So that's a really short clip.
Sure.
So there's a chance that we can play some things that Johan wants and from Alborada, and then we can go to exactly the location on the Marimba Spiritual video. So
sounds a good idea.
Yeah.
So let's do another 10 minutes on this.
Yeah. Well, okay. So would you guys either we go? I mean, it's quite short, so maybe do you want to play from the beginning, or you want to play from pick up to C, the 3 bars before C, just to get that?
In the beginning.
Yeah, let's try the beginning. And another thing, technically wise, because we have the marimba in the room.
Yep.
When we play, we will mute our computer and
Yes.
will not be able to listen to you. So, like,
Perfect.
yeah, sorry. So tell us where to stop, and we need to connect the headphones back again.
Well, are you guys even gonna watch well, let's do this. Let's do you play the 2 first pages, and then if you see me do...
So start in G. We will start in G?
Yeah, if I do a sign, if I do this, then you can start.
There's no way that we'll be able to see you, but...
Yes, I think one guy has the pause there, so you can. Now you look up.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Otherwise, you keep going, okay?
All right. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's good.
That's the nicest thing about this course, that we are having such experiences. So
yeah, you just play and you don't listen to what...
Yeah, we never played live like in this situation, so that's...
Yeah, well, let's try, yeah.
So we're going, yeah.
Well, I was talking so much before, so you know, you can also run the whole piece, and then we talk about things. Also good.
Yuval, what do you prefer?
What?
To run through the whole piece, or to play what Johan suggested until G?
Let's play on the piece, no?
All right,
just till G, please, guys, because we haven't got a lot of time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I don't hear anything. Do you hear anything, Tim? Can you hear?
Not at the minute, but maybe.
Well, they didn't play yet. Oh, I don't hear. Oh, now I hear. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, well, that's cool.
You want to go?
And we're back.
You're back. Good. Yeah, very good job. Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, cool. You know what we were talking about before with the triplets. It sounds good, very good. Right now, I would say 39. That part that begins. Where is
49?
it?
39.
Yes.
39?
39. Yes. 39.
Yeah.
39, okay.
Right now the balance is the bass is a bit ambitious. I think maybe we can be a little bit cool with the bass there. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Otherwise, it's great. I mean, many of these things I talked about, and you already did even better this time. So.
Yeah, except sorry for blacking out at
This happens.
at letter D. Yeah.
When you play duo, you probably notice that the real problem is when both black out at the same time. That's the real problem.
Yeah, we're lucky to not experience that on stage, but we will.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah.
you will. No, hopefully not. But it's good with the duo because if the serious part of this is that when you trust the other person, and usually when you are a little bit offset mindset yourself, you kind of know when you screw up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Almost every time.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you think you screw up much more than you actually do. But usually you know each other so well, so you know if something doesn't sound like it usually does, especially with you guys, if you practice every day, then you know it's the other person, it's not me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You experienced this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it sounds great, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very good. Very, very nice. Very good. Yeah, I don't have much more to help you guys with. It sounds...
All right. Shall we move on to a bit of...
Yeah, let's hear it to spiritual. Yeah, sure.
I don't know if I can do this, but I will do my best.
Yeah. So Tim, if you may and it's possible, I would like you to play. What do you say? Maybe we should play the A section and the cadence, just to.
Well, I don't know when that is, but I've got a point for you. So we're going to start here. If that's all right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job, guys. That's rock and roll. That sounds good. Yeah, cool. Very cool. Very cool, cadenza.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I bet the audience loves this.
That was definitely one of the considerations, but not only. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good job. Great. Sounds great. Very groovy. Very good. Well, we just came in around 35 somewhere. 36, no? Where did we come in?
We don't have the partitur right now.
Somewhere, anywhere. Anyway, great coordination. I mean, the percussion, very good coordination there. It's difficult to play one part, and it's more difficult to play three. Good job. You know that instrument? What's it? Changchiki. What's it called? Changchiki. No?
Kashishi. It's a Brazilian.
Kashishi.
Kashishi.
Yeah.
It's a Brazilian percussion instrument.
Yeah. It sounds good. Very good. It's this. Yeah, like you work your ass off to do this, I guess, to do it in time. It's a slow instrument. So yeah. I mean, you are. Yeah. You are.
Actually,
you're in time most of the time. Sometimes you can hear, just that tiny little bit, but that's what we're here for, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's very good. Yeah. And the marimba before 37, those tremolos, you do what you do. There is also a way I tried. Boom ba, you hit the 8th note together. Boom ba, boom ba, boom ba, ba. So you hit the note and then you tremolo a little bit. The volume won't be that, but just hitting that first 8th note and do a little bit of tremolo after can be an option, so you hit bam, 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 bam. Yeah.
I do pa 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 pa.
Yeah, I hear. I know.
Yeah.
If you want to do, another way, that's an option. Cool. And then when you come to 37, really play it as improvised, the marimba. Yeah? Yeah. And just before the cadenza, if you can, now my pages are all messed up here, but the only thing before the cadenza there is, like boom, 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 go.
Yeah.
Or you do 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would go. Boom, boom, boom.
Each time a
Yeah.
different level.
Yeah. The cadenza is great. Very good. It's very good. There is a couple of things you need to clean up a little bit, but and sound-wise, the cymbals and sound-wise, it's very good. Cymbals is not a problem live. On a recording, it's a problem, especially a China cymbal, volume-wise. But in the concert, it's not a problem. Cymbals disappear and the drums will come out. So it's not an issue at all. Yeah. Usually, small cymbals might, be a bit, lame in a bigger hall. So don't think about that for the recording. Cool, very nice. Yeah, it's nothing. Very creative and very showy and visual, and people. I'm sure they love it when you guys play it.
Thank you.
When you come back to 42, after that it sounds all good, and then sometimes in 43, if you're really tired and in the tempo, sometimes it's faster than you can play, then doubles is fine to use. You can do some doubles, and then you switch to singles just before you have these small crescendos or the accents or whatever. You just switch to singles when it's appropriate. Depends on what the drum size it is. I know you play on big drums, but you might find a way where the doubles can work also. 44, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe those peaks can be a little bit sharper.
Okay.
Maybe.
No.
It's very short, but we can try.
Yeah, and leave space for the person, for the other person who makes that one. Yeah. So just disappear. Yeah, cool. And when you scream, it's all good. Play it a couple of times without screaming, so the hands knows how fast they should be. Because as soon as you start to scream, tempo gets a bit down. Okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're talking about small things. Yeah?
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
But good stuff. I love the cadenza. It's really good. Really, yeah, it's great. Very good. Thanks for playing. Yeah, thank you guys. Good stuff.
Great, brilliant. Well, thanks for those comments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing.
Johan, you've got 35 minutes to.
Question?
35 minutes to do what you like, really. On you're going to do something on sort of memorization, and I know probably some of the guys have got some questions as well. So
sure.
Johan has said if you want to interrupt what he's saying and ask questions, that's absolutely fine. So just buzz on in with a
yeah. Cool.
All right, cool. Nice one.
Good. Yeah, very nice. And I'll be talking until my voice gets sore. So if you have questions, just raise a hand, or Tim will let me know, or if I can see it on the screen, I will. Or you show me like this or something. Questions anytime, and yeah, really. Okay, cool. So I was thinking of what to prepare for this to make it interesting, and I first wanted to start to talk about why I play music and the reason why I play music. And for me, it's the moment when the flow, the total flow is going on, and you're in that bubble. You play music and you don't think about what day it is, what time it is, where you are, or anything. You're just in that bubble of making music. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? Just raise your hand. Yeah? And that happens sometimes, right? Yes or no? Hopefully, yes, right? It happens sometime where you feel where you're in the bubble, which is that's the reason. That's the reason for me. And so some years ago, maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I started out with trying to be in the bubble as much as possible. It's very often you're not in the bubble, quite often. But to allow yourself to be in that bubble most of the time, or as much time as possible, I started practice from the end of music pieces. So, I mean, you need to know what you're going to play, what music is. You got to study the score a bit and listen to the pieces if it's recorded. Sometimes it's a premiere, and then I usually go through the piece, see what's going on in the piece, of course, so I know where to begin. But then when I go to the factory in this room and start working, I go from the end. So I play the end, I figure out stickings, and don't forget to look in the beginning of the bar for accidentals. You know, if you start from the end, you might miss the accidentals and stuff. Don't do that. I do that often. So begin from the end, play the last bar or the last phrase many times. You can bring it up to so you're happy with it, even the first day if you like, but at least work a lot with it. And then I go to the second last bar and I work, and I keep going not to that bar, but to the end. And I keep doing that until I get to the beginning of the piece, finally. This takes some time, of course, but the reason why I do this is that If I come in the bubble, that's fine. I'll just keep going, keep going. If I lose my concentration and screw up in my mind, start to think about what to cook later, what to eat, or what to do, I have to do this email. But when I get these thoughts when I play, my hands know what to do. They will carry on. They will take me to the end of the piece, even if I lose my concentration. You understand? So this will allow me to be in the bubble, even if the bubble is a bad bubble, even if it's where I'm losing my concentration. At least I'm in a bubble of the flow of making the music. And also, I know every bar, every note that's coming a little bit better than where I am right now. So when I come to the beginning of the piece, it's like being up on the mountain and just roll the ball down the mountain, because it's going to get easier and easier and easier. Instead of what I used to do, and many musicians with me did, start from the, down here, and try to roll the ball up the mountain, where it gets more and more difficult. And also, even if you say you're going to practice the first 4 bars of a piece to yourself, I'll practice the first 4 bars, but you know a little bit more, so you will keep playing. When you lose the concentration, you will keep going, and you will hit the wrong note. You will hit the wrong note, and you will hit thousands of wrong notes by the end of the day. And so the opposite version of memorizing and learning things will save you a lot of time, and also the muscles, the muscle memory, your hearing memory, your visual memory will not be messed up because of all those thousands of mistakes you make every day. Yeah? And the feeling when you go up on stage, you play the first chord, next note I know better, etc. So even if you get some distracted thoughts, which we all do, we cannot control our thoughts. And they happen. The thoughts come, they can be good, they can be bad, they can be whatever. But when they come into your mind, your hands and your muscle memory and the visual overview, that every bar is going to be easier along the road. That's a good feeling of going up on stage like this. Yeah, I actually did this so much. So the first time I played Reflections on the Nature of Water, the 4th movement, doom, boom, boom, doom, doom, but I didn't know the beginning so well. So I doom, boom, boom. Okay, one more time. I had to groove one more extra, So I did it to the extreme ones. This was, but that's okay. I know the next part better. So, yeah. Any questions on this? Do you have any thoughts or questions? I mean, Tanel, you heard me say this before, of course, but anyone else, or Tanel, anyone have a thought about this, or did you try this before? Maybe. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing. You will save a lot of time, and I think accuracy when we play, especially when we play difficult stuff, it will really help. I'm not talking about Bach sarabands or slow movements. You don't want to play that last chord 2,000 times. I mean, things you can read and things that's not technically challenging, it's a different thing, right? So this goes mainly with, for example, quick movements in Bach where you have 16th notes or velocities, or second movement of Merlin. This kind of repertoire where you just go. You just go. There is no time to breathe, no time to think. You got to be able to keep calm in your head. Very helpful for me. Yeah. Cool. Any questions? You just raise your hand, or so. Otherwise, I will keep talking. Okay. So. Yeah, next thing I want to talk about is something I think about as a condition scale. Like your state of mind, where in the condition scale are you? And I'm talking about -10 to 0 to +10. If you imagine your mood or your how you feel and how you feel about what you're doing on this scale, or I'll take some other examples as well beside music. But the reason why I do this is that the brain, what is under pressure, what will come out from our brain is the strong emotions when we are under pressure. So -10 and +10. This is what will hit us when we are under pressure. These feelings connected to what we do will come out, either we want it or not. And feelings around 0, -2, +2 doesn't really do anything to us. So to explain what I'm talking about, let's have a couple of examples. Let's say you're on a date and you go out with a person, you get the best kiss you ever had. It's a wonderful evening, and it's I guess when you're 80 years old, you will still remember that evening. Yeah. Also, on the other hand, if you're -10, you're out with someone that pukes you down the neck. This is -10. You will still remember. Okay? This is strong emotions connected to a specific thing that happened to you. You will remember this forever. But on the other hand, if you are in the middle, around +2 to -2, you go out, you have a date, and it's fun. You sit down, you eat, you talk, you cheers, very interesting conversation. And then you go home. I mean, not interesting conversation. And you go home, and then a couple of weeks later, when your friend you forgot about that date. You really have to be reminded that you went out. Okay? This is how the brain works. Strong emotions, less repetition. Yeah? And so if we take this into our world with our behavior or our prestation, our level of achievement combined with the emotions we put into it. If you imagine first like a sportsman, like a golf player who make a really bad shot, he will or she, they will take their mallet, their club, a golf club, and put it down in their bag of mallets, and oh damn, that was bad. You know, when they do something really bad. Okay, so with this they show the audience and they show themselves and they show the competitors that this was bad behavior, and I don't accept this. This is strong emotions, you know, connected to a bad behavior. And then the next guy comes up, he does the same thing, but he does bad, no, down. He does it enormously, you know, he shows that he is even more unhappy with his behavior. In this way, he basically tells the audience and the people around him that he is better than the other guy. Because he had even stronger negative emotion, reaction to his achievement. You follow me? Next time they do something fantastic, what happens is they take their golf club, put it calmly down, take their bag and walk away with no stone face. They don't show that was fantastic. They did something fantastic and they put zero emotions into it. You follow me? So this is how you teach yourself performance anxiety. You have really bad behavior and strong emotions, and fantastic behavior and zero emotions. Under press, under stress, when you're on stage, the disasters will come to you much sooner than that calm, zero emotion. Yeah? So try to do the opposite and be like a dolphin trainer. When you train a dolphin, they are happy. They are what to say? They are not like dogs or horses where you can punish them into the right behavior. Because when you train a dolphin, if you hit a dolphin or you do something bad to a dolphin, then he's not going to jump anything. He's not going to do anything in the swimming pool. And not even that, he's going to tell his friends about it. And no one will jump in the pool when that trainer is in the room who did the wrong thing. So dolphin trainer just sits there. They have a bucket of fish. When some dolphin do something good, they throw a fish. And they will jump more. They are intelligent dolphins. And maybe trainers too. Then they will jump and they will, did I get a fish because I jumped? Okay, let's do a real jump. And then someone throw 2 fish to them, fishes, whatever. Fish. I don't know if it's fish or fishes, but they throw 2 of these swimming things to the dolphin. And then the dolphins even tell their friends about it. And then they jump like crazy and they have a whole circus number right there, okay? So the suggestion is to be more of a dolphin trainer to yourself when you play. I mean, if you screw up on stage, don't punish yourself too much. I mean, accept and learn from your mistakes, record it and see what went wrong, and try not to analyze that too much. When you do good, when you do great, you are in the flow on stage and people are happy. Sometimes that's not even the case. Sometimes people are happy even if you're not happy, and the opposite. But when you do good, when you're happy on stage, then you analyze yourself. How did I do? How could I do that well? What happened? That's where you want to think about. That's what you want to work with. Not overanalyze when things go wrong, right? Who likes to analyze when things goes wrong? Yeah, Tim,
happens to me all the time.
Yeah, you're the only honest person there.
Yeah, no, I'm honest. Whilst I've got your attention, got our first question of the night from Jose.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that, but I'll read it to you anyway. If you do have a memory slip during or even before a performance, how do you carry on?
Yep. Well, memory slip before the performance is, I think, even more common than during the performance. Because we think a lot. I think a lot. I'm talking about myself, I think. Let's start with that for now. If I start to think backstage about the first bars, especially when I practice from the end, say no more. So when I think about the first bars and the sticking and which octave, these kind of things, it's not a good idea. If you didn't practice doing that visually many times, don't do that. So that's a very good question, because it's said even before, memory slip even before, and that's even more relevant, I think. So, and I played lots of chamber music recently, and I'm so jealous of my friends, because they take the violin backstage, they take their accordion, the flute, whatever, they have it backstage, they have it in the hotel room, they have it, I think in chamber music situations, I always feel I want to go on with the rehearsal longer before the concert, because then as soon as I leave the stage, I don't have anything to touch with instruments. And then that's where you start to think about the first bar, and that's where your first memory slip is right there. So try not to think like that if you're not used to it. And if you can't bring a double setup of everything you're going to play and have it backstage, then it's fine. But most people don't do that. And to answer the second part of that question, to memorize how to go about it when you screw up in a performance. Well, you got to learn the hard way, I guess, to do it a couple of times, and then you know how to react to it. How you react to yourself when things happens. And there is no medicine or anything for this. What happens, and then you have to take it from there. But the thing I just said with the memorizing from the end, that might help a little bit. One more thing that can help is, well, this is not to get off track when you play. I always think about this, and I teach this a lot, where you are in the practice room, and here's the practice room. Can you see my hands? Yeah. Here's the practice room. Here's the stage. There. Hold on. So practice room, stage, and not be here all the time, and then take that big jump. Take that in small steps. So when you practice and you play, just play it for a friend. Imagine your teacher is there. Play for your teacher. Play for two friends. Record it. Just take the time of the piece. Just taking your phone and press the timer to see how long the piece is. That will raise your level of awareness a little bit. We're talking about a little bit, but at least I'm sure you guys tried this. But as soon as you press rec yourself, you are more aware of what's going on in the room. And then you take this in many small steps, like I said, and then have some friends come into the room and listen to you when you play, and discuss phrasings, discuss stickings, discuss many things, and you will develop like a relationship, or a good energy. And when someone will understand what you're doing, right? And so when you come on stage, that person might be there listening. You have a positive vibe, because if you get a thought about what you did, that phrasing or something, you know that person will know, oh, you chose that sticking, you chose that phrasing, you did that. And there is a positive energy going on. This is a little bit out there and not maybe proven scientifically, but there is a positive vibe going on. And this vibe is much better than the vibe many people go on stage with, which is, okay, now, oh, I hit the wrong note. Now, all these 20 people on the left, the percussionists, they know that wrong note, and they are like this. Yeah, he played a wrong note. Yeah, yeah. These thoughts are not very helpful, you know? We all have these thoughts. And the other way of you know, taking these small steps and discussing with people about phrasing and stuff, that will really help to have the positive attitude. Well, that doesn't answer the question of what do I do when I do memory slips. But it depends what kind of music and in what kind of situation. I'm trying to help how to not get there. But if you run a piece, you work a lot. You work hard with this section. At the end of, if I paint on a piece of paper, this is, I don't know left to right for you, but let's start. Here is practicing, okay? Here's practicing, and the closer you get to the concert, you practice more and more and more, and you know what I mean? Oh, I have to make this. If you do this instead, you panic in the beginning. You really panic in the beginning. So by the time you get closer to the concert, you have more time to run through the piece. You know, how many played a 10-minute or 12-minute or even a 15-minute piece first time on the concert? Who did that? Who did that to yourself? Don't do that. What did you expect? You know?
Yeah.
You see these stars, it's like Perlman, or, you know, you see these stars going around the world playing violin concertos. It's not the first time. I'm sure they played well the first time too, but it's not the first time.
Mm.
So keep with the rep and keep playing. Keep, you know, the worst thing in school is, let's say you work for 6 months with a piece, and then you play it once and it's a disaster, and then you go on to the next piece. That's not the way. You know, play simple stuff until you're happy with yourself. You feel good. You can use that feeling that you are fantastic. Even if you play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, even if you play that just play that really well, you will have the feel of success and that you're good, that you know what I mean? And take it to the next. Don't play these pieces that kills you. Don't play these pieces only, especially in the beginning of the career. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. If you don't mind, I've got a couple of answers for that question as well.
Yeah.
And this is just from my own personal experience. Like, I found, you know, sort of before you go on stage, going through parts in your head, I find that's my nemesis, because then I start to think like, oh, where does that section go? And then you're into this like circle of, I need the music, get the music. And so from a mindset point of view, before I go on stage, my preparation is done. Like, I don't think about the music. I think, if I'm absolutely honest, I think about what I'm doing after the concert, and I just relax and put my mind at ease that the preparation's been done, rather than panicking and getting in that tense mindset. So that's my first thing, is just having a relaxed vibe before you go on stage. And then the other thing I've come to realize sort of later in life is that percussion is such a muscle memory based instrument. And you often get, particularly if you're in like a duo or a trio or something, and you know, you rely on a lot of triggers which have a knock-on effect moving throughout the music. Well, what happens when one of those triggers doesn't trigger? And that's when there's a problem. So particularly, I found, particularly doing concertos, actually, because we're not as in control of rehearsals as you are in a duo or a soloist, I've found like really forcing myself to start at any given point in the music is really advantageous, because then you're not reliant on the muscle memory that you've practiced. Like, if you practice the whole section over and over and over again, if it breaks in the middle, you're not really prepared for that. But if you force yourself to start at some random places, you're kind of practicing almost going wrong, because what was before is no longer before. So if I was going to offer any guidance, I think that would be the main thing for me. And certainly, as I say, for concertos, like, you know, if the conductor says, oh, we're going to go from bar 56, you can't say, oh, do you mind if we go from B, please? It's like, no, it doesn't really work like that. So yeah, they're my two tips. I'll get out the way now.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, thanks, Tim. Well, that's fantastic. I just wrote it down. I always write down things that is new to me. Every time you go to a lecture, write down what's new for me here. You know, if the conductor says bar 56, then of course, yeah. Well, how many times didn't I say, can we go from B, please? Sometimes they are very happy with that. But that's a very good tip. That's a fantastic tip. That there was no before. This answers that question on Facebook. Thanks, Tim. It's great. Very good answer. Very good. Very helpful. Yeah. Other questions? No. Okay, so we covered that. We talked about. So
I've got a question, if I may.
Yeah.
How about sort of, because these guys will not be used to this, and it's one element of the WPG which they won't get experience on, because normally we travel to different places and we do concerts touring, which obviously in this setting is not possible. But how do you go about a coping mechanism in terms of like the big setups you do, because obviously you're quite used to that, and alleviating that problem of having enough time to set up? Because sometimes in the real world, like, it's very different from being in a university setup where you might have like an hour or two to set your instruments perfect, and it's all how you envisaged it would be. But I've been in many situations where there literally isn't time to have that facility in place. So have you experienced that? And if so, like, have you thought about any coping mechanisms?
Well, most of the time I bring my stuff and I drive to the venue. Most of the time, even around Europe, even down to Italy, I took the car with my stuff. Sometimes of course I fly. If I go to Asia or US or something, then of course you gotta set up, and that is tough. Well, you need enough time to at least collect the stuff and set it up. And this, what I just pointed out, this thing, being like this can be very, very stressful. If when we're talking about what you're talking about, setting up stuff. So this is much better, right? You go from the, and then you reduce all that preparation. Maybe even try different marimbas. Play on a Master, play on a Yamaha or a Marimba One. Even go around. When I go to a school where I teach, where the bars are much more narrow than mine, then just run the piece a couple of times. Play a little bit on that kind of instrument, and get ready for what might show up. And stands, put the drums a little bit different, not perfect every time, but a little bit weird and different heights or something. That can also help you in this kind of situation. And the more you travel, the more the better you will be at this. But it's not the same. It's sometimes I feel, okay, now I'll pack my stuff down. It takes maybe 2 or 3 hours. I pack it down into the car. I drive 5 hours away. I set it up. Takes 2 hours, and then the other musicians come, and we then suddenly, after being a roadman and roadie, and then suddenly I have to be the artist and play together with the people who relax on the train or even the plane, and then we're going to make music, and then after the concert they go and have the beer, and then I pack down. It is a bit tough to travel with percussion, and what I do is to try to be there as soon as possible. Even if I can't be there the day before, I'll do whatever I do whatever it takes and whatever is possible to leave myself with the best possible settings. I mean, the possibilities to be good. If I do the other, I arrive 1 hour before, try to set up, and then didn't warm up that day. I don't. We learn a lot by doing many concerts, of course, and this can help. This can help to be able to warm up 10 minutes on the practice pad and then play arena, for example, or just some sequential stuff on 4 mallets on the side of the the table at the hotel or backstage or something. Just be able to reduce these kind of things. I'll tell you the worst story ever with this. I was going to play a double concerto in St. Petersburg in Russia, and this was a double concerto by Broström, the same composer that we just heard, but one of the other concertos with the violin and marimba. It's actually, you can find it on YouTube. There is a clip from this concert. But I arrived there. We have time, right? A little bit. Well, I arrived there one day before, just to check out the instruments. I mean, the night before, one day before the rehearsal. So I even spent, 36 extra hours just to get to know whatever instrument was going to show up. And I remember this so clearly because it was such a crazy week. This was the Wednesday I played a full recital double with, in the middle of the week, I played with a flutist, a double program. I mean, two times 40 minutes. And on the Sunday, I did Goldberg variation with Patrick, first time. So just a couple of days between. And then the Monday I traveled just to get to use that instrument for the concerto. And so I could really have used that day practicing also. But I decided to go just to get used to the instrument and stuff. And the instruments will be here. And then, so I show up at the symphony in St. Petersburg. And then there is no marimba. Where's the marimba? Well, yeah, it's coming, it will come. And then it didn't show up. Didn't show up for the whole day. And then the next day, the rehearsal started. And so the marimba arrives 15 minutes before the rehearsal with the orchestra. And, I had all that other rep in my head and in my hands. And so I really wanted to practice what I should play. And so there was no room either. So I was just behind the stage and the orchestra started rehearsing at 10 and then 11:15 the break was, and then I had to go on 11:30. And so I had 1 hour backstage with pianissimo, soft mallets to play that, to practice that concerto. And then something happens in your mind. I mean, your skin gets a little bit thicker every time these kind of things happens. It's not ideal by any means. But if you do it a couple of times, I don't recommend to do it. But when you do it, you're not surprised, and also the surprise itself, your reaction to it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a story which is I think about sometimes when I have a hard time.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you have quite a lot of time to prepare. Like compared to me, sometimes I don't get that time. So for my students, like I literally, if they're not set up for a certain piece and I know they can play it, I'll just say like, okay, you've got 2 minutes to set this up, and that's it. You're going to play it.
Yeah, well,
regardless of how it is. That's what it is. Go.
Yeah. That's probably like very close to the truth. Yeah.
The extreme, and it's just the way it is sometimes. But we're sadly out of time.
We're out of time. Okay. Well,
we are.
Well, it was lots of fun talking to you guys and sharing ideas. And thanks for the tip, Tim. And thanks for
no
playing,
problem.
Everybody. Yeah. It's very useful. Very useful. I think. Do that every time you're on the lecture. Write down everything that's new to you. And
absolutely.
Sounds great. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Are we happy? Any questions or?
Well, if you just wait there for a second, I'm just going to wrap this stream up. So everyone watching on Facebook and YouTube, I've seen quite a few people watching tonight, which is fantastic. Don't forget to check out tomorrow. I believe tomorrow is Svet Stoyanov's masterclass tomorrow. I hope I've got that right. Usual time, and we will see you there. Please don't forget the 2 showcase concerts Saturday and Sunday at 8:30 UTC time, which is 9:30 UK time, and we look forward to seeing you there. Some amazing performances. I've just been editing again today, so I know you're really going to enjoy that. Thanks so much for watching, and see you soon.